Hello everyone, I am here to do the last and final moon sign in the series. You know, I had to save the best for last. I've been getting requests for it all along, but of course, you know, I can't just give in to everyone's requests, so I had to do it last. Anyway, just to brush up really quick on what your moon sign represents in your chart. It's a very important part of your chart to know, because it is kind of who you really are deep down. It is your emotional self, your true self. It is like the core of you, your instinct, your natural reactions to things, what you need to feel good in life, etc. So it's very important to know about your moon sign, to know about other people's moon signs, if you want to understand yourself and other people. So without further ado, here is my video on Moon in Scorpio. Had to save it for last. It is my moon sign. It is the moon sign of an absurd number of best friends of mine, people I'm really close to. Thankfully, never any lovers, because, no, I'm just kidding. But it's kind of like two Scorpio moons. It's like there ain't room for the both of us kind of thing. Not for friendships, but for romance, personally, I would feel. That's neither here nor there. So with Scorpio moon, it's the highest highs and the lowest lows. I always say that people with moon in Scorpio don't do well with platitudes or indifference or any type of neutral feeling. It has to be really extreme. It has to you have to either be extremely ecstatic and happy, or extremely, they're just really thrive off of intense feelings, and it's very intense to have that need. And it's not necessarily like, oh, I love feeling miserable. It's more like it's just uncomfortable to feel things unless they are all the way. Like, if you look at like an emotional scale, if it's not 100%, no matter what the emotion is, whether it's anger, sadness, happiness, sweetness, love, laughter, any type of feeling, if it's not at 100%, we're not really that comfortable with it. So therefore, our lives can be very dramatic, because we're always welcoming these extremes, and also going through these extremes with ourselves. So when we're involved with other people, if you don't have a Scorpio moon, you're not going to understand that. And if you do have a Scorpio moon, then you're already too intense, and it's just too much. So people with moon in Scorpio can be self-destructive. The other thing is, the idea of Scorpio is all about life and death and rebirth. It's like the Ouroboros snake, eating its tail. It's like there's a cycle. I'm gonna plunge to the lowest depths in order to get to the highest heights. And therefore we can sort of self-destruct as a way to rejuvenate ourselves often. Like, if something's coming to an end, if some emotional thing is coming to an end, we have to make sure it ends all the way so that you can make room for something new. And this can be very destructive, and this can come out of a lot of different ways in life. And Scorpio moon people just do things all the way. They feel really strongly about things, and there's also a strong need for control, power in situations. I feel like you always have to be in control of yourself, but you're so emotional and intense that you can lose control, because a lot of times the other person in the situation is more laid back emotionally than we are. So sometimes it can become a game. It can become like a manipulation game, because we don't want to feel weak. Scorpio moon never wants to feel weak in any situation, no matter what. And there's just a lot of complexities. It's almost too complex to even talk about in one video. But just know that, People with Scorpio moons can be incredible people because they've really plunged the depths of themselves to come out on top, but they can also be self-centered, they can also be manipulative, they can also be controlling, very controlling. There's a very strong dark side to Scorpio, as most people know, and some people who know you have a Scorpio moon are going to be afraid of you because they're like, whoa, you're probably a psycho. That can happen, but it's also, if Scorpio moon has so much potential for positive self-transformation though, so give them a chance, because especially if they're self-aware and if they know, if they've been through a lot in life, then they're probably very evolved in a way that's gonna be really, it could be a very positive thing. So I'm gonna go over the zodiac and talk about different sun sign combinations with Scorpio moon. So Aries sun with Scorpio moon people are so freaking intense. They're double ruled by Mars because, as you probably know, Scorpio was originally ruled by Mars until Pluto was discovered, so it's still technically co-ruled by Mars. So Aries sun Scorpio moon people are very, very Mars-like and intense. They're very passionate. They can be very argumentative and very dramatic, and they're impatient and they're so emotional, so that like if you don't do what they want, or if you don't agree with them, or if you hurt their feelings or piss them off, they can be very quick to like cut ties or to just react dramatically. So these people can kind of be drama queens and kings sometimes. Taurus with Scorpio moon people are very chill. They're very stubborn. They're very, they're like, if looking at like a really majestic, beautiful rock that has an ocean underneath it kind of thing. They're usually very solid and sort of calm and kept together and quiet, but there's a lot lurking under the surface, and these people can be indomitable. Their will is like no other, and nobody's gonna push these people around. They can actually be like sweeter than you would think. Gemini with Scorpio moon people are super real ass people, but they're real ass emotional too. And you don't want to get on their bad side because their emotions can be all freaking over the place. But their intelligence is profound, their feelings are profound, they're analytical, they're always observing everything and wanting to know everything about everything all the time. Very inquisitive people, but just, you know, a little unstable sometimes. Cancer with Scorpio moon people are so emotional and so sensitive, but they have this kind of pride. They can be like very sexual, very dark, but mysterious, sweet, kind people. They definitely have a lot going on, and nothing with them is ever going to be shallow. Like everything's always intense emotionally. And they're just like really in tune with the waves of the universe and very, very psychic. Leo with Scorpio moon people are so badass. There's a lot of, I feel like a lot of people in astrology are Leos with Scorpio moons. It's one, you know, you don't want to mess with. They know who they are, they're proud of who they are, they're strong in who they are, they have a lot of interests, a lot of depth, a lot of passion. They're like very dramatic, but in sort of more of a theatrical, like actor sort of way, like very, you know, like method actors who get really into the role. It's like that kind of personality in life. Virgo with Scorpio moon people are like the ultimate, like detective CIA type people. Like they're so freaking smart and intelligent. They always know everything that's going on. Like they're extremely aware not only of themselves but of everybody else and everything else that's going on, and they're always like plunging into the depths of every situation, and you know, just really questioning things a lot. And they can be kind of paranoid in this way because they're just like constantly, their mind is constantly going, they're always like going and questioning and like digging. Libra with Scorpio moon people are like definitely the deepest Libras you'll ever meet. Like there's the flakiness and the shallowness of Libras typically doesn't really exist with the Scorpio moon Libras. They're usually very, very creative, very passionate, and definitely more like, I would say more controlling than other Libras. Their intensity can come out a lot in relationships when they love somebody. This can be a friendship as well, but it definitely comes out. But they're very good at getting what they want. Double Scorpio people are just like the ultimate Scorpios. They're really in tune with themselves and who they are, and they're just very, very strong people, and very they're not compromising any bit of themselves, and they're Scorpio through and through, inside and out, and that's all there is to it. Sagittarius, I mean, obviously that's not all there is to it, but that's the gist. Sagittarius with Scorpio moon people are really powerful. They're like powerful Sages. They're really mysterious. They're the kind of Sages who they have all their like little interests and passions and adventures and things that they're into, but they really go all the way into them. And they're a little more consistent than other Sages. Like they follow through with their passions a little bit more, and are very, very adventurous and very like, in not just like a lighthearted, like curious adventure way, but like in a really deep adventurous way. Like they really go all the way into whatever they're studying or learning or getting into. Capricorn with Scorpio moon people can be very tortured souls, but they're so powerful, and they're so they're like philosophers, and they really they're poetic people. Like they're emotional and intense Capricorns. So they're ambitious, but their ambitions are never shallow. They always have a real serious purpose for whatever their ambition is, and it's never going to be something that's just like, oh, I just want to like make money, or I just want to be, you know, successful. There's always going to be some like deeper purpose that's like driving them through their path, and they're just really like, they're thinkers, and they really delve into things, and they can be very artistic and creative types for that reason, more than other Capricorns, I think. Aquarius with Scorpio moon people, c'est moi. Definitely weirdos, definitely like unique, interesting people. Definitely not as like the whole like coldness and indifference and aloofness and, oh, I don't have feelings, I don't care type of Aquarius stereotype is not really valid with Aquarius Scorpio people. Like they definitely have feelings, and they don't relate to the idea of not having feelings, but there is a struggle, because it's either like, oh, I don't care about anything really intensely, or I care about everything and I feel everything. So this can be an issue, because it's like they're constantly going between, should I care about this or not? Like the idea of caring about something is always a thing for them. But these people can be very into whatever their cause is, very into like, very curious about life and about just kind of questioning everything, and really like not afraid to be themselves and not afraid to be weird and inspire people. They really enjoy inspiring people and are inspired by plenty of people as well. And then Pisces with Scorpio moon people, they are so sensitive and so emotional, and it's almost just like too much. It's like an ocean underneath another ocean. It's like, when does it ever end? And the answer is, it doesn't ever end. So just don't hurt their feelings, which you could like tell them you don't like their nail polish color, and it would hurt their feelings. So these people require a lot of self-evaluation, a lot of self-awareness, and a lot of like therapy, honestly, to be better, because they can be definitely troubled people, but they're amazing, wonderful, lovely people as well. So that's all I have on Scorpio moon. Thank you for watching this series.